This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. We are going to be talking to two extraordinary artists whose music is literally traveling the world. Rhythm and Breeze is a dynamic world music duo of percussionist Debbie Brock and native flute player Sandi Horton. Their debut single, Singapore Sling, released in July of 2025, quickly climbed to number 2 on the One World Music Radio July charts, competing across all genres of music, classical, jazz, new age, world, and beyond. So we are thrilled to have the two of you here. Sandi, you've been on the show before. I've been interviewing you for quite a long time and enjoying your music, your flute music, native flute. Our first chance to visit. Debbie, welcome to the show.
You.
First of all, tell me a little bit about how you teamed up.
Well, it all started. Debbie came to hear the Heart of Texas Native Flute Circle. We had advertised in the newspaper. We used to meet at the Art Center Waco when it moved into its new location. And she came to hear a concert. And we immediately hit it off just like 20 years ago when we knew each other.
You knew each other before, so tell me about that.
We hadn't seen each other in 20 years.
Oh,
I thought
really?
she lived in Chicago or somewhere. I didn't know where she lived. And all of a sudden there's Debbie. I go, Debbie?
There's Debbie, yeah.
And then she started playing the native flute and bringing her drums, and it just happened.
Well, I'm excited to share with everyone your music, and you recorded 3 different numbers we'll be seeing throughout today's show. But Debbie, tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, you were both music teachers, is that right?
Correct. I was a band director, then I was a clinical psychologist, and then I was taught psychology. And so when I went back to the native flute thing with Sandi, we just picked up, like when we were teaching back at Temple High School, we used to work there, and we used to cut up there, and so we just started cutting up again, and we met, and so she strong-armed me into kind of playing flute, because she went, here's a flute. And so I liked it, so I joined, and then I said, well, I have this. She asked me if I had my drum kit, and I sold that because I had moved it so many times. And so I said, no, but I have this electronic one. So we started playing around and doing different kinds of things and ad-libbing a little bit. And thus we started Rhythm and Breeze.
So how long ago? Have you
2 or 3 years.
Oh, so it's been a little while.
Yeah. Little while.
So, but the recording. So, how many recordings have you done, or you've done one?
We've
okay.
only done one. The first time we played at a festival was a year ago, October,
Yes.
at Medicine Park. We were just jammed at our little flute circle things, nothing for anybody else, just for ourselves. And then we were invited. Everyone's invited to play at Medicine Park, Oklahoma Flute Festival. And so we went, and that was the first time we'd done our show. And we didn't have a name or anything. And everybody says, y'all need a name. You need a name. Because we were on the program. We just said Sandi Horton and Debbie Brock.
Right.
And they said, y'all should be playing places. And we were going, okay. And so we came home after Medicine Park, and somehow we got the name.
We went to, the first time we played Singapore Sling was at Texas Music Cafe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the
good.
audience just loved it. We were just sort of ad-libbing a little
Yeah, we're just making it up.
And so then from there, it just gathered
Awesome.
some momentum, and we're working on playing at the World Flute Convention in July, and we're working on some more music and going to look at playing at some more places and things. So.
Yeah. So Singapore Sling is a little bit of homage to your time together as college students.
Yeah, because we used to drink Singapore. Because this little flute, it's from Indonesia, and I just I just called it, it's a Suling flute, and I just started playing the song, and it didn't have a name. It just said Suling's First Song. And then after we started playing and she added the percussion, it started sounding really kind of cool. And somehow we said, it sounds like Singapore. And then we started talking about drinking Singapore slings, and the song was born. Of course, it's called Singapore Sling on the radio, but on Insight Timer, where you hear a lot of my music, I called it Island Jam, because Insight Timer is a free meditation app, and it's to help you relax. And so, in the picture is of an island with the palm trees blowing and everything. So as people listen to it, because she has this real soft little beat that can be relaxing, and so it's named Island Jam on that venue.
But this single, Singapore Sling, as I said, is number 2 on the One World Music Radio charts in all genres. That's just incredible. What did this recognition mean to the two of you? And were you surprised?
Yes. Very.
Yes. I was just hoping to make the top 100 or maybe the top 20, because my solo albums had made the top 20 and the top 10, and I thought, well, maybe our little duo, maybe we'll get the top 20 or something. And then all of a sudden we were number 2, and I kept looking at the chart and reading all the names in the top 20, because they have the list, the top 20, the next 20, the next 20, the
Sure,
next 20.
yeah, who you're competing
Yeah,
against.
and I was just totally shocked.
So when you're creating music together, what comes first, the rhythm, the melody, or a story you want to tell?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. Usually I have the melodies, the songs that I've already written, and she'll hear them, and then she comes up with, so it changes my songs, because she hears them one way, and she'll start playing something when we're jamming, and my songs are usually stories. They, each one's written, I have about 200 songs now, and I don't even remember them. I just write them down and put them in a notebook, and then I try them out at the flute circle, and then sometimes she'll start playing, and I don't know.
It's just a collaboration, because she'll play part of it, and then I'll hear something, and sometimes I'm just thinking around playing something, and she'll come up with something, but it's goes both ways.
Yeah, I hear her, she does these really cool rhythms that I haven't even thought of, and so I have my notes, but I change the rhythm to match what she's doing. So that's how we collaborate. We just go back and forth. She'll hear my melody, and it'll give her an idea, and then I'll change my melody to match her idea, and we keep going back and forth. But we read each other. We have so much fun. You should see some of the stuff we do.
A lot of it surprisingly is nonverbal. I think it's just that our history of music and working together back in the dark ages in the temple, we just sort of have a nonverbal communication with the music, and knowing when to stop, or when we're gonna okay, we're done.
Right. Kind of like an artist, a visual artist. You know, I asked one once, when do you know it's finished?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, when I can't paint one more thing. You know,
Well, our songs are never finished, because every time we play them, they're different.
they're different.
And sometimes we read the audience, and sometimes we're just how we feel.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, at the end, our nonverbal, we'll play, and I'll go bump, she'll go bump, and I'll go bump, bump, she'll go bump, 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 and I'll go bump, 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 and she'll go bump, and then I won't play again. So somebody will stop finally.
That's it. Yeah, we're through playing now.
Who has the last sound?
Yeah, so we keep going back and forth, and it's really fun, because we don't know what we're going to do each time.
Debbie, your instrument there. Tell me a little bit about it. I don't think I've ever seen an electronic drum kit like this before.
No, most percussionists probably use the ones that look more like a trap set and stuff.
Right.
Those days have passed for me. And this was a way for me to just kind of to play a little bit. I don't have the proficiency I used to have when I was younger. But the Yamaha, this is a electronic called the Yamaha DD75, and it has 75 different drum kit sounds.
And some are really strange sounding sounds.
My other one didn't. I have one that we started off playing, and I thought I had messed it up because it was doing crazy things. Because, well, it's electronic, and I'd been tossing it around. So I got a new one, and this one does far many more things than the old one. It has things that like animal sounds on it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that should really help with what y'all do.
And gongs.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't figured out how we can use those in a song yet,
You
but
gotta
I think they're
have
pretty cool.
Something with a rooster crowing.
Yo, get up! Get up, get up! Yo, get up!
See, there's just some,
Play any of
there's
them.
just like fun
I
stuff.
love it.
And all kinds of drum kit sounds. Just you can't have regular like sets. And it has pedals where I can do the hi-hat and the
Oh, yeah.
and the bass drum and things. And
Well, I mean, you know a lot about percussion. So where did you study? Did you?
I went to Sam Houston State University in Huntsville and got my degree in music education. And I taught band, and I was the percussion specialist for a long time. Wherever it got hired, it was because I was a percussionist. And this was right at the forefront of show bands at halftime. So having a percussion line and doing all those things. And in Temple, we usually went to All-State and went to the playoffs and things like that. So I had a lot of experience choreographing and writing for them. And I started playing professionally when I was 14 in Houston.
Playing drums?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of unusual for girls. I mean, really.
Back in those
Karen
days,
Carpenter,
yes.
I think
When
she's
I-
the first one I can think of that, you know.
When I was
oh, a girl playing
12,
drums.
I went to try out for a band, and my brother was trying to get me to do something else, and I just went, no, that was the peak of the Beatles, boy. No, I'm going to play drums. And
You and Ringo Starr.
Yep. And there was a whole lot of people that were trying out, and I had a band director at that time at my junior high school that was a percussionist, and he showed us how to play a drum roll and probably something like a flamadiddle or something, which are rudiments. And he said, practice, and then he went, perform. And he went, you, and I was one of the yous.
Awesome.
And so I started there, and he was a good influence. And then I got a drum set and I started playing at 14 in a country western band called Debbie and the Dads. And the only way
Your name was in the title. That's
oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
because my dad was okay with me playing with them, and because they were all police officers,
Oh.
and one was an FBI agent.
My
And-
goodness.
And so I played with them for quite a while, and then in high school I played with some of my friends and a couple of adult. The pianist was an adult, and we had a jazz group, and I played with them. And I continued playing probably about 20, 21. And then I realized everybody I knew was going to, getting up at 8 and going home at 5. And I was playing at 9 and going to bed at 4. And I was like, And then some key people that I knew had lost their life due to either different kinds of things. And so that kind of had an impact on, is this what I want to do? And it was not the time. It was not the time either for women percussionists, as you said. So I decided, okay, I'll go North Texas and go to North Texas and see how I compete with the big boys, and found that out and decided that going performance was not my thing. I like people much
University of
more.
North Texas is a professional musician's school.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It is top.
Yeah,
Notch,
but
yeah.
it allowed me to, I'd always been a big fish in a little pond, so I wanted to see if I was a fish at a big pond.
Big pond.
And there was about 5 guys that were better than me, but the gap was pretty big, and so I tried doing the 8 hours in a practice room and went, not my thing.
Yeah,
That's
how you find out.
I like my percussion ensemble. I like interacting, so I left and went back to music and got a band directing job and moved from down there and did that for about 13, 14 years, and then started losing my hearing, so that guided me toward doing something else.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, in life we all pivot and move to new things. When we come back, we need to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk to Sandy some more about her journey with the native flute. So some wonderful music ahead, and we will be hearing Singapore Slang, your number 2 chart-topping almost hit. So stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB Your Bank for Life.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com. Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Last week, I stopped by Skin and Body Refinery at 2210 Austin Avenue. They offer a lot of services, including hormone support and weight loss options, but I tried a vitamin B injection. It delivers vitamins and electrolytes straight to your bloodstream, helping boost energy and focus. They also offer advanced facials and skin refreshment treatments that help reset your skin when it's feeling dull or just a little bit off. It's the kind of place you leave feeling better than the moment you walked in.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct. I let in the sun rays. More of the heat stays. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, buy one window, get the next one free. Plus no interest and no payments for 24 months.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
The reason that their service is outstanding because the people they have working, behind the desk and the folks working out in the garage, taking care of business. And they give you a date, they give you a time, and they're spot on. And they're professional, they take care of it, and they answer all your questions, and they're fun to work with.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
And we're back with Debbie Brock and Sandi Horton, who are Rhythm and Breeze, a wonderful duo that is just setting all kinds of records in the music world. Sandi, as I say, we've talked many times about your love for native flute. How did that start?
Well, it was kind of by accident. I was going to a church retreat in Mo Ranch, and we drove through Fredericksburg and went in the music store there, and I saw a native flute. I didn't know what it was. I just picked it up and blew it, and I liked the sound of it, and it came with instructions, and we're on our way to a retreat, and I thought, perfect. At the time, I was playing in a classical music group called Silver and Ivory with Jana Miller on piano, and I was on the silver classical flute, and we were touring around playing that kind of music. And I saw this little flute, and I thought, oh, this would be kind of fun, just for fun. And so I bought it, and then years later, I saw that there was a flute circle of native flute players in Waco, Texas.
Really?
It was advertised in the Waco Trib, and I thought, well, I'm going to go to that. So I went to it, and there were these players from all over Texas. I had this one little tiny flute that I didn't even really know how to play much. They had whole bags of flutes, and I'm going, people play these things? And they all played them, and there's festivals for these things? And I go, oh, it's like a whole group. Like if you're a card player, you get with card players, or if you're a country musician, you get with country musicians. And I thought, here's a whole group of people that love music. And so I just joined them, and then now I've started collecting flutes wherever I go, and I've just got a whole bunch of them now.
Yeah, you have shown me some of them in the past. Your performance schedule is astounding. I mean, you do perform a lot. Live shows, Zoom concerts, radio features, podcasts, here we are, international appearances as well. What keeps your creativity energized?
Well, most all of my songs are nature-based, and so I get my ideas. I go outside and sit among my trees, put my feet in the dirt. I like to go down to the river. I wrote a whole slew of songs on the Guadalupe River when I was Debbie and I both went to our Carlos Nakai retreat in South Texas, and while they were going to classes, I was down at the river composing. I composed a whole bunch of songs there. Everywhere I go, and this summer I'm going to be teaching a master class at the World Flute Society Convention on how to compose the landscape, because that's how I write my songs. I go out and I see things that inspire me, and then the melody just comes. And I don't know where it comes from, but I just write it down. and then the next day I'll play it, and I go, oh, okay, and then I'll start tweaking it and putting it in a format, A-B, or whatever. But the melody comes, and I just write it down. And so I'm going to teach a workshop on seeing the landscape and how to put what you see into musical form so that you can honor the earth as well as honor your music, and then you can remember it because you remember that feeling you had at that location and what you saw and what you did, and it's like a souvenir, but you have a song. And I have a whole bunch of those from literally all over the world, places that I've visited, and I'll write a song while I'm there or when I get home from my pictures. Sometimes I'll play my flutes there and I'll jot down the notes, but I don't have time to write it out. But I'll just jot down the melody and throw it in a notebook. And because I have a pile this big of pieces of paper that have songs on them, or sometimes just the words come. And so now the words are all starting to come in rhyming words, like country and western songs, because I've been hanging around with all these songwriters, and I just admire these songwriters in Texas so much. They put their heart and soul, like the people at the Texas Music Cafe. They put their life on the line when they're doing their songs, and they've inspired me so much. And so now all my songs come with words. And
so you're going to have any singing maybe at some point?
I do have 2 songs where I have the audience sing the chorus, and I'm going to be playing February the 12th at the new Texas Music Cafe, and I'm going to have one audience song. They're going to sing, so I have to sing it to them so they can learn how to sing it back. And so maybe you can come.
Oh, yeah.
and help be one of the singers.
That's awesome.
It's really fun. I've done it. I did it first at the Maber Museum with some kids and just did a real simple little melody, 4 measures long, and they got it, and they could sing it. And then I wrote another one that's a longer chorus, and you need to be a good singer. And I did it in Salado at Table Rock Festival. And the girl who was videotaping it, she had this gorgeous voice like yours, and it was perfectly on pitch. And it sounded so good because she videotaped it, and the audience would sing with her voice because I'm playing the flute once I teach you the song. And so it's kind of like I'm adding the vocal and the instrumental, although I'm not a vocalist. I've always been an instrumentalist. I've sung in choirs, but never a soloist.
Oh, that sounds like loads of fun. And again, that's going to be February
12th. It's at the new location on 30th Street, and it'll be their first songwriters night in the new location.
Yeah, and at what time?
8 o'clock.
Okay. Oh, okay. Excellent.
I'm pretty sure.
Your Native Flute Journeys album feels immersive and meditative. What do you hope listeners take away from your music?
Well, I hope they take away whatever they need at the time when they hear it, because most of the songs are very open-ended, so that if you want, like my song called Spirit of Love, it could be love if you're grieving. It could be love of someone that's done something nice for you. It could just apply to any kind of love, however you're feeling at the time, and however I'm feeling at the time when I play it. If I play it real slow, it might have more melancholy sounds, but if I play it more upbeat, because I'm thinking of something real happy that I'm doing, the listener can get that too. Of course, on the CD, it's only played one way, but when I'm playing in person, all the songs have different tempos, different rhythms, and I add and take away things. Every live performance is totally different, but the CDs you know exactly what to expect, or on Insight Timer, and I'm just hoping people will just listen to it. It'll make them feel better. It'll help them to think or process or just relax.
You've studied and performed with legends like R. Carlos Nakai and appeared at international conferences, you mentioned, and showcases. How have these experiences affected your artistic voice?
Well, everybody that I've ever been to their master classes, starting out, the first really famous person I went to was Jean-Pierre Rampal, which some people have probably never heard of, but that's how old I am. And he influenced me in a certain way for classical music. And then the next one was James Galway. I went to one of his master classes in Austin, and he was so inspirational. Because he said, anybody can move their fingers. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, I know of
It's
him as a flautist, yeah.
Yeah, it's what you put into it. It all comes from what you're thinking and playing, and it has nothing to do with your fingers, because anybody can move fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to really put your heart and soul into it. And he's not known for playing Bumblebee song, all that kind of stuff, and I never knew that about him. And then he taught us how to just play tones and long tones and not worry about the music. The sound is the most important thing, and what you're able to express in the sound. Because you can always just learn music, but to get all that, the technique of the sound. And so he taught me that. And Nakai taught us to play. He said, and I wrote a song called Play Like a Child, Play Like the Wind Blows, because he says you just have to just have fun with it. It doesn't matter. Your heartbeat changes. The beat of your song can change. You don't have to have a steady beat like classical music, although he plays with symphonies and he's real good too. But he said when you're doing your own music, you just let your heart decide what it wants to play, and that's what you play. And it doesn't have to be what you set out to play. And to me, that was very inspirational, just to everyone find your own songs. In the native flute culture, we call it our heart songs. And everyone plays their own songs. And you can play someone else's song, but you would play it a little differently than they would. Or you can add to it or take away from it. So that everybody I talk to inspires me, even the people who are beginners, when they're just talking about how they're playing something, they might play something that I've never thought of before, and they inspire me. So I get inspired by all musicians, from beginners to the Galways and Nakais, and the singer-songwriters and the guitar players. I mean, every musician I hear gives me something, because I can always learn from every person I hear, because they all do it differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all unique, like snowflakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Debbie, percussion. You mentioned heart songs. The percussion is the heartbeat of music. How do you approach rhythm when you're working with the native flute, which has such an organic kind of emotive drive to it?
When I listen to Sandy and what she's playing, I think in terms of accompaniment, not being the star, but something to add to and enhance what she's doing, to tell the story, if you will. And that's my approach. And to come up and just have fun, just playing whatever sounds and we're doing. And that's the key ingredient of what we're doing, is just F-U-N. And at our age, that's really important. It is.
Okay, so you mentioned the February 12th gig you've got. What's next beyond that for Rhythm and Breeze?
Our biggest thing is the World Flute Conference. That's the end of July.
Okay.
And we'll be playing in the afternoon concert series, and we'll do a 30-minute show.
Where will that be?
It's at the University of Wisconsin in Eau Claire. And it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. They had it there 2 years. They only have it every 2 years. And there will be players from all over the world playing all styles of flute. There will be silver flutists playing classical. There will be native flutists. There'll be people. That's where I got this thing 2 years ago. The lady who played it, she won Best Album of World Music. And she was playing this little flute, and I loved it. So I bought it from her, one of these from her. And everybody will be selling them.
Now it's Singapore Sling. Right?
Yeah, now it's playing Singapore Sling.
It's magic, the magic flute.
Yeah, it's a magic flute.
No, I interrupted you.
Oh, that's it. That's it. So that's where we're going in Wisconsin in July. And we'll play, and we'll get to hear all these musicians. They're so inspirational, because some of them, they're just so good you just can't even imagine. I listen to some of them on YouTube, and I go, oh my gosh, we're sharing the stage with these kind of people. Of course, they're mostly the nighttime performers who are just on tour all the time. And it's just so amazing. And then they'll be also teaching the master classes that we can go to, and then they'll let us play together, and everyone there is a flute player, pretty much. There'll be some audience, but most everyone there'll be hundreds of people, and they all play some kind of flute.
Do you find percussion groups kind of like our flute players, or not?
They are there, but I haven't explored that avenue. Just haven't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there is one drumming group that's going to be.
Yeah.
I know that I'll go to it. I just don't know anything about it.
Well, your music, I mean, do you have Native American blood? Either of you, gotta ask you.
Yeah, I have. My grandmother's grandfather's mother was a full-blood Native American.
Really?
And so that's quite a few generations back. But his mother was adopted by a family of Anglo people, and then she married another Anglo person and had him. And then my grandmother has told me many times about her grandfather, who was half Indian, is what she called him. He was an Indian. And so I've always heard these stories, and we've kind of traced the history back, and I finally found out where it came from. It was his mother, and she was adopted. So I have just, my grandmother told me, she said, Sandy, you have a half a pint of Indian blood in you. I'm a half pint.
And for me, it's no.
But you certainly get the feel for everything I've ever heard, of this kind of music. I mean, I can just imagine you in full Native American dress, doing this music.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to dance and do all kinds of stuff with it.
Well, what is the best way, if folks are new to this kind of music, to find your music? How can they learn more about Native American flute music?
Well, on Facebook, there's a lot of sites. If you just put in Native flute music or Native American flute, there are so many pages that people have put on that have thousands of followers, and then people put their songs on there, and you can listen and find out the people you like.
Yeah.
And then they have pages, and then you can go to their pages, and of course they're all over, all the platforms, Spotify and all those places. But you have to know who you're looking for. So Facebook's a really good place.
Mm-hmm. What else? Music can be entertainment. Obviously, healing, meditation. I remember last time you were on the show, you were with Charles Wallace, who is an artist, a visual artist, and you had coupled his art, which was evocative of different emotions, people, and then you had melodies that went with them. When somebody walks away with a Rhythm and Breeze performance or from one, what do you hope they take with them?
Joy.
Joy and peace. Peace and joy. It sounds like Christmas. But we don't play Christmas music, but it's Christmas all year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want them to feel good when they get through. We want them to want to have more, come back. Mm-hmm. Because we want to be pleasing. We don't want to ever
kind of like a good bowl of ice cream.
Yeah. We both love ice cream. Or a fresh cookie.
Oh, we had to go with that ice cream,
That's right. That's what we want you to feel like.
Oh, well, you both are such a joy, and I've been looking forward to sitting down and doing this for a long time. And so glad that we can share some of your music in the course of this episode as well. And again, how can someone find your music specifically, Sandy?
Well, my music, I have a website called Native Flute 4. You can find me on Facebook, Native Flute Journeys.
Okay.
Native Flute Journeys, and all the information's on there. And our group, Rhythm and Breathes, we have a Facebook page too. That's for our advertisement. So if you want to hear what Rhythm and Breathes is doing, we've played at the Mabry Museum twice now. And hopefully we'll play there again next November. I don't know. But anything we do in Waco, it's going to be on that page, or anything we do anywhere. We'll probably put this podcast on our page.
Sure. Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Well, you are both a delight. Thank you so much. All the best in what you're doing, and continue to create and perform. This is awesome. Appreciate you both, Sandy, Debbie.
Thank you.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
For over 2 decades, I've come to Allen Samuels shop, especially for trucks, because I've been very satisfied with the performance of those trucks. I think the strengths of Allen Samuels is obviously in their customer service and obviously taking care of your vehicle after the sale.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
This one is played on a sycamore flute, and it's a Native American style flute. It has the 6 holes in it, and I called it Anunnaki. It's the offspring, Prince Anunnaki. It's from the Sumerian god of the sky and the goddess of the earth. And Debbie has a really cool little percussion part with some singing bowls, so you'll sound like you're kind of out in the area where this song could have been written, but it was written in my bedroom. Okay.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Did you hear what this is going to be? Well, if you're driving down Lakeshore Drive towards I-35, that old Kmart building that most recently was a call center, right there next to Cracker Barrel and Starbucks, it's turning into an Academy Sports and Outdoors. This is the second location in the greater Waco area. No firm opening date yet, but you're going to start seeing remodeling work happening really soon. Waco, are you excited about a new Academy coming to town?
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal
Buy one window, get the next one free, plus no interest and no payments for 24 months.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
Okay, Waco is in Texas, smack dab in the middle, just a little to the east. We will start with what to do in Waco at Magnolia because that's what everybody expects when they go to Waco, right? So we'll start with Magnolia and then we will go on to all the other things that people might not know about. So, one of the things to do at Magnolia is visit these 6 little shops, and they are the cutest shops ever. There is a shop for Bath and Body, a home goods shop, a flower shop, and a couple boutiques. And then there is actually even a sports memorabilia and sports store for men. Something else fun to do there on the Magnolia grounds is visit the little white church that they had moved in a few years back. You can go inside and check it out and walk around. One thing that caught us by surprise were a couple of different stations. One had temporary tattoos, and this one right here had a little area where you could grab free postcards. There were stamps available and even a mailbox to mail your postcards. That was such a cute little touch. And then we really loved the photo booth. You need to find the photo booth. When you're hungry, they do have permanent food trucks that have everything from hot dogs to hamburgers. They have amazing pizza, and our absolute favorite was the Cheddar Box Gourmet Grilled Cheese food truck. But one of our kids' favorite things to do there was this wiffle ball field. There were games going all day long. Besides the wiffle ball field, they have this huge grassy area with cornhole and all kinds of area for anybody to run around and play. They also have those bins filled with balls, all kinds of balls, soccer balls, kickballs, footballs, and it's just a really cool place to sit and hang out and watch kids play. They just do a really good job of creating community and giving you a place that you want to hang out. On that same field where kids were throwing balls around, they have these big bean bags where you can just lounge around and watch kids play. Another area of Magnolia that my daughter really enjoyed was the flower area. They had a whole section of Magnolia dedicated with these raised flower beds just full of flowers after flowers after flowers. There is a flower shop back there. Unfortunately, it was closed while we were there that day, but it is a beautiful place to walk around. There were all these outdoor garden beds, and they also have a greenhouse you can check out too. It was such a beautiful place, and of course you have to stop and take pictures with all the flowers. Now onto the bakery. I'm sure you've heard of the bakery, and it was everything that you would have ever dreamed of. Another of our favorite places at Magnolia was the coffee shop. It is called the Magnolia Press, and it is a humongous coffee shop. The coffee was amazing. When we were there, the line wasn't very long at all, but I've heard it can get fairly long. We got a few iced coffee drinks. My daughter got hot chocolate, and everything that we had was absolutely amazing. They have some merchandise that you can choose from, and they also have pastries besides the coffee and tea available. But if donuts sound good, head across the street of Magnolia and go into M Donuts. The donuts were so delicious. One really cool thing, they give you a penny with every purchase, and they make sure to point out that their floor is made of thousands of pennies. Make sure you get a little photo op in their mirror because you will have the silos behind you. If you drive a little bit outside of town, you will find Homestead Heritage. This is a place you could spend all day. They have a general store, they have a grocery store, they have a market, they have a grist mill, they have their own coffee shop. They also have pottery, woodworking, leather, and fiber art shops, as well as their own forge. In addition to all of those shops, they even have their own restaurant. It's a good thing to make reservations because they do fill up quickly, but they serve all homemade whole food ingredients, and I've heard the food is outstanding. I'm not sure if this is open year-round, but when we were there, they had this humongous indoor market. They had over 20 booths and were selling everything from produce to food and lots of handcrafted things. It was really cool to check out. Okay, let's talk food and restaurants in Waco. We did not go here, but it looked amazing. It was called Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill, and there was lots of live music. The menu was huge, and it looked like a really fun place to hang out. But when in Waco, especially if you're there for Everything Magnolia, you have to try out Magnolia Table. This restaurant is not on the normal Magnolia property. It was maybe a 5 or 10 minute drive, but it was definitely worth it. The restaurant is so beautiful. They have huge family style tables. You can sit by yourself, but sometimes you may be seated with other parties. You do need to make a reservation for this restaurant, and we did, and we got right in without waiting. A couple of the things we tried that we loved were their biscuits. Those were amazing. One thing we didn't love, actually, were the onion rings. They look like donuts, and they kind of tasted like donuts in a way. But this chicken and waffles was amazing. The burger was great, and the pasta off the kids' meal was amazing as well. We really had a fun time there, but like I said, just make sure you make your reservation. We did not get dessert at Magnolia Table because we were in the mood for ice cream. We found the Heritage Creamery, and it was so good. It was on campus of a local college, and it seemed to be the hangout spot. This Cookie Monster was to die for. Next on the list for food is Union Hall. We went there for lunch. Union Hall is like an indoor food court, I guess if you will, but is more like an indoor market style. They had pizza, Mexican, curry, ice cream, all kinds of things. There were probably at least 10 to 15 different options for food, so you should definitely check it out. We each got something different and made all of the kids happy, and it was delicious. And now to barbecue. If you've heard anything about food in Texas, barbecue is where it's at, and according to my husband and my boys, Terry Black's Barbecue is the #1 barbecue joint in all of Texas. There are a couple different locations, but we chose the one in Waco, and we loved every single second of it. We did go right at open because we have heard that there can be some long lines, and we did not experience that, thank goodness, because like I said, we went right when it opened. They have lots of indoor seating, and they have a huge outdoor seating area as well. We went with a family style meal, and we were not disappointed.
I mean,
look at that.
I'm kind of mad.
My gosh.
I'm kind of mad.
Ooh, buddy.
I'm
There's
mad that much.
nothing about this to be mad about.
I'm mad because it's so good.
We all know we're gonna
Completely
eat so
worth it.
After dinner, we even got to go behind the scenes and see all of the huge smokers and get a crash course in how Terry Black's smokes and cooks all of their meat. Let me tell you, my husband and boys were absolutely in hog heaven. Just a quick side note, the banana pudding was my daughter's favorite. Next on our list of things to do in Waco was the Dr. Pepper Museum. What a fun place this was. They had a fun courtyard with seating to sit and enjoy your time there, and you do get a nice view of the silos while you're outside. The indoor museum was great. It took about a half hour to go around and see all of the different exhibits. We really enjoyed our time there. It was $12 per person. They do not sell their tickets online, so you do have to buy them the day of, but there is no risk of them selling out. There's an unlimited amount of tickets. They do have a few add-ons that you can do. We did choose one of those add-on experiences, and it was a make a soda. You do have to reserve that ahead of time and prepay for that. It was a kind of like a scientific lab where you get to create your own soda. So they give you a base, and then you have a ton of different flavors to choose from, and you end up taking a bottle of your homemade own flavored soda home with you in a really cute glass little jar. We had so much fun there, and the Make a Soda experience was definitely worth the extra $20. Now on to a national park. The Waco Mammoth National Monument is located in Waco, and it is free to enter the park, but there is a small fee if you want to go into the dig area, which I highly recommend. You get to go into an archaeological dig site. It's $6 for adult and $5 for kids, and we maybe spent about 30 minutes at this location, but it is great if you do have a national park passport book because you need to add that stamp. And last but not least of our things to do in Waco was to visit the Branch Davidian complex. It was not open to the public. I don't know if you remember, but about 30 years ago, there was a cult living here that was overtaken by local law enforcement. There was a month or two standoff, and not very good things happened here, but it is a lesson in history and a part of our history in the United States.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
Our next song we have called Singapore Sling, because Debbie and I met right after we had graduated from college, and we used to drink Singapore Slings. And so I bought this little flute at the World Flute Conference last year, and it's made in Indonesia, and it's different than a Native American flute. It's called a ring flute or a fipple flute. It has a little ring. It just has a little hole here, and so you have to blow in this one little hole, and it only has 4 holes that are kind of oddly spaced. Anyway, this is the first song that this flute wrote, and Debbie wrote a wonderful percussion part to it, and this is our first recorded single, Singapore Sling.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.